Cool. Hey Libra, welcome to this week's reading. Happy birthday to any Libras that are still having their birthdays this week. I actually feel kind of silly because last week I said that this is the last reading of October, but it's actually the last reading of Libra season. Then next week we still have a couple days left, like 4 more days left next week of October, but this is the, at any rate, this is the Bianco Nero Tarot by Marco Proietto. My Italian isn't exactly the best, so please forgive me if I pronounce that a little bit of botched pronunciation. But the reason I decided on using this deck this week is because I really like the black and white motif. I think that it works really well for this week leading up to Halloween. I'm going to go ahead and take those cards. All right, Libra. So I'm seeing a lot of good cards here. First up, I'm seeing the Judgment card. So for a lot of you, that might mean the end of Libra season, especially since Judgment is sort of like the evolution of justice. I feel like a lot of you guys might be in an energy where you're sort of ending situations that have been an issue in the past. And I want to bring up that. Okay, so the next thing that really jumps out to me is the 8 of Swords and this 3 of Swords. Both are cards of pain and strife. Also this 5 of Swords. Okay, so 3 of Swords, 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords. Those are all very heavy cards. But the fact that the 8 of Swords is in reverse tells me that you're walking away from the situation. The 3 of Swords by itself symbolizes heartbreak, pain, something backfiring. I just feel like maybe in the past you could have trusted someone and it didn't pan out for you in a good way, and with the 5 of Swords, like there was conflict, misunderstandings, miscommunications, a lot of that he said, she said energy where you guys couldn't trust each other, and there was fighting and arguing, and you just were so hurt by it with the 3 of Swords. And it was just, I feel like in the past you were seeing a lot of that, but with the 8 of Swords, I see that that's in the past, because the 8 of Swords talks about someone who is trapped, someone who is blindfolded and tied up, and she's ironically surrounded by swords. So if she could use a single one of those swords, she could free herself. But the blindfold doesn't allow her. And that's a situation basically where you're trapped of your own making. But because that 8 of Swords is backwards, you're now seeing energy this week where you are sort of free, you're liberated. And I feel like that's also tying back into your Judgment card, to where you sort of have this wake-up call, and it's just great. Because whatever it was, and it could be that maybe those fights and those arguments that you were dealing with in the past were a much bigger deal in your head to you than they were in the actual situation. Because I'm seeing the 3 of Cups, which is a reunion. So I'm definitely getting that for some of you, if you had fought with someone in the past and you're still interested in them, they're coming back. Because I see that 2 of Cups, and I see that 3 of Cups, and I see that 6 of Wands. But I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Let me just keep talking about the 3 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and that 8 of Swords a little bit more, because I think that that's really important this week. That because the 8 of Swords is upside down, everything that would have been you trapping yourself in your own head, not being able to escape the situation, not being able to move on, all of that is ending. It's in the past now, because once you've reversed that card, everything that you've walked away from it. And I'm sorry that I'm spending so much time on that, but it really does feel significant for a lot of you guys. And I feel like the fact that I feel like for some of you, you might be like talking about it a lot, and you're just like, wow, I'm so happy this happened. And then you have like your friends and family who are like, okay, we get it, whatever. But like, just know that it's a big deal, definitely for a lot of you. But then moving on to like the rest of your cards, I see the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, so I'm definitely getting the fact that a lot of you are working past that, and you're sort of learning from whatever it was that you were supposed to learn. And even if it was something that seemed unfair, sort of with the Judgment card, you're taking it at sort of at face value, and you're learning from it, and you're using it to make you a stronger person. And it's just you've evolved, I feel, with that Nine of Wands. So I'm looking at that Nine of Wands, and now I'm looking at the Page of Pentacles, and it almost looks like the same person or a very similar person. It seems like they have sort of the same facial scar almost. So I'm getting that like you've evolved past that. You've worked through the pain, and now you've like literally worked and you're making money. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you might be starting businesses, or you might be sort of improving, leveling up in your career sphere. With the Six of Pentacles, I'm definitely seeing that there's money that's being manifested into your life. The Six of Pentacles can talk about actual charity, as in like someone else, a real person giving you money. But I feel like this is you sort of manifesting money into your life. As a definitely like people related. If you have a job that where you work with people, like you might have gotten a promotion, but I feel like that's not necessarily the biggest part of the reading, although it is a plus, and I feel like it is part of why you're so attractive and you're so in your energy this week, especially with that Judgment card, because the Judgment card to me feels like Libra energy. But like, I feel like you're so in your energy because of that. And like that Six of Wands, like you're definitely seeing victory this week. You're definitely feeling powerful. You're definitely winning this week. I don't know why. I just got a flashback way back in the early 2010s when Charlie Sheen was going through his whole like crazy phase, and he would say winning, and that was his thing for a little while. So I feel like a lot of you guys feel like that. Not necessarily going crazy or off the deep end or anything, but I feel like you do feel powerful, you do feel strong and confident. And like I was saying earlier, for some of you with that Three of Cups, it feels like you're either celebrating or you're seeing the reunion of someone from your past who may have been a soulmate. And if it's not someone from your past, then it could be just someone who is coming into your life that you like feel that soulmate energy with, and you get that sort of stroke where it's like, yeah, this is the one, especially with this Ace of Cups and the Hierophant. The Hierophant to me is sort of like a counterpart to the High Priestess. So a lot of you guys are definitely in your energy right now, definitely in your feeling strong intuition. So definitely follow what your gut instinct says. And I feel like a lot of you might be getting an offer this week. Yeah, definitely. Especially with this Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, Six of Wands. Wonderful victory in love. Judgment. I feel like if you were treated wrongly in the past, now is a time that you're going to see like everything's going to feel right and fair to you now. And I'm getting like it might be that someone who treated you badly is coming back and apologizing and be like, sorry, I was just like under all this stress, and like not in a way where they excuse their actions, but like you get told stuff that you maybe didn't know before, and now it makes sense. And I feel like that is enough to make you sort of forgive them or whatever. And I feel like that might be why this Eight of Swords is in reverse. It is because like this Five of Swords and this Three of Swords, it might have been like in a situation that you created in your head, and then when this new information comes in, or like when your intuition strikes and you're like, wow, it wasn't like that, I don't have to feel this way anymore. You can like move past that, and you're seeing victory. Just like whatever you do, I see victory. That Six of Swords, it's smack almost in the middle, right next to your overall energy. It's just wonderful. Ace of Cups, Six of Wands, Judgment, and there's Two of Cups, definitely soulmate energy. Hierophant can sometimes mean marriage. So you guys are going to have a wonderful week this week. But yeah, Libras, that was your reading for this week. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment. It really helps out the channel, and I personally am really interested to see if the readings resonated with you or not. And if you like the videos, please consider subscribing and come back on Monday. That's when I upload my videos for the week. And I hope to see you guys next week for your next weekly reading.